A Philadelphia police officer was ambushed yesterday by a gunman while sitting in his marked car, and here are the facts. Police Commissioner Richard Ross said the suspect fired 13 shots to hit Officer Jesse Hartnett in his car late Thursday. He said the officer returned fire, hitting his assailant at least 3 times. Officer Christine O'Brien said the man was struck at least once in the buttock, talking about the gunman there who was apprehended shortly thereafter. Richard Ross, the police commissioner, went on to say that this is absolutely one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And I believe we have some of the surveillance shots of the man. Now we also know now a little bit, you're seeing there he walks up to the car, which is just sitting there, fires 13 shots. Miraculously, only 3 connect, and only with the officer's arm. Now he dialed in for backup and support, which was dispatched almost immediately, and he is now expected to fully recover.
Wow, the guy goes right up to the car and he still missed him? He only hits him 3 times?
Yeah. Not a particularly good gunman.
He went to the... Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something, huh?
Now, we have since found out that this man says that he did it in the name of ISIS, in the name of Islam, although some of his family members and CARE say that there is no evidence that he is an observant or practicing Muslim. But he did say that he did it in the name of ISIS. There's no connection that has been established yet. It seems to have been he was inspired by them. We have a little bit more information that complicates things a bit there. But that is what is going out today.
There is no way that guy's a lone wolf, Johnny. I mean, his skin was a little darker than I'm comfortable with.
You think it's part of a plot?
It's a part of a plot, and he's definitely, I bet you, he's Muslim or he knows a Muslim.
He probably, he apparently is a Muslim.
There you go.
So he does know a few.
What else you need to know?
Yeah.
And let's connect it all together. I mean, he probably saw some of the things that ISIS has been doing online. You know, they have a good social network online. They're good at that stuff. So he's also probably been looking at, hashtag Black Lives Matter and how the police issues we've been having. So he's probably been inspired by Black Lives Matter too. This guy crosses on all of the dangerous people in the country. You know, Black Lives Matter, they have these problems. Police officers, so he's coming and shoot. I'm wondering which one of the anchors at Fox News has already gone through this line of thought process about how this guy has been inspired by the worst people in the world.
You mean the Bundys?
Those guys too. Oh, they're...
Who? I don't know. He's shooting cops. They're all got their rifles. They're getting ready to shoot the cops. I don't know. You tell me the difference. If that cop would have drove his car up there and tried to arrest those guys, they would have shot him, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, but that's only what they said they would do.
Oh, they didn't
multiple
do it.
times, yes.
Okay.
Here we have some more information about the man. He has a criminal history. Court records show he pled guilty in 2014 to assault and carrying an unlicensed gun, charges that got him a prison sentence of between 9 and 23 months. The gun that was used in the shooting yesterday, by the way, was actually stolen from a police officer, not by that man, by someone else, and we don't know how many other hands it's switched between over the year or two. Yeah, but he was using a police officer's gun there. Now, his mother told the Philadelphia Inquirer that her son, the oldest of 7 children, had suffered head injuries from football and a moped accident and recently began acting erratically. She said he's been acting kind of strange lately. He's been talking to himself and hearing voices. We asked him to get medical help.
So it's not that there's no way that guy has mental problems and he's a lone wolf. I don't know if you saw. His skin's a little darker.
That's true. I mean, look, the mental health thing. Look, he was a violent person before the moped injuries. Yeah. Apparently, maybe it made it even worse when he had the mopeds. But this is a guy who had a violent streak to him. And he's saying now it's about ISIS, although there's no evidence yet that he's been practicing Muslim in any way. And that's very often the case, is that the ones who say that they're doing it in the name of this group, which by itself has been condemned by all these Islamic organizations and does a number of things that the Quran explicitly outlaws, they themselves in their life don't follow what the Quran says. And so this guy fits that pattern, but should we really be surprised about that?
So since it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is this guy's motivation was, from what he said versus what his mother said or versus his family has seen, where his mindset has been, the one thing that you would think, say this was someone else, not a police officer or even just a guy in Kansas, a white guy in Kansas. The problem we'd get is people on, this side would say, well, there's a problem. This guy's got a gun that was stolen, that was lost, that was recovered somehow, changed this many hands illegally. And some of the regulations that get proposed, even though it's from gun sellers, is if there's a gun that's lost, you have to report that so we can track where it is and see where it is. These are one of the things that is part of the, the beginning of the assault on guns, where Obama's coming and knocking on everybody's door to take away your guns. Yeah. So when we come with these kind of proposals and people reject it, now that it's hitting police officers, I don't know if you have this quote, but it's my favorite one from the story. He's not even the police officer. He's the mayor of the city, the new mayor, Jim Kenney. He said there's just too many guns on the streets, and I think our national government needs to do something about that. I don't know Jim Kenney's previous stances on gun control, so I'm not necessarily indicting him for this problem. But now that it's someone
he
that
has
you
the
give
right response.
Yeah, it's someone that you give a shit about,
Yeah.
which he should, by the way.
So-
he's an innocent police officer. Then now we need the national government needs to do something about these guns.
You know who's in favor of gun control? Cops are in favor of gun control.
Yeah, largely.
They are largely.
There are some crazy people.
Yeah,
who are cops
sheriffs in
who are not.
Colorado and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that, rural place. Again, Barack Obama made a great distinction about, if I live on a farm and the closest cop is 20 miles away, I want to have some firearms in my house in case something happens, right? Somebody comes to attack me. I see.
Yeah.
So that's a totally different thing. But mayors, people who have to govern in cities, are against guns, right? And
People who see the effects of gun violence every day.
right,
Yeah.
cops and mayors.
Yeah, and look, in this case, it seems like so far exactly the right thing was done. This guy tried to murder a police officer, tried to execute a police officer, which, by the way, is not a new thing in America. I mean, you can look, there's cases every single year of crazed sovereign citizens and anti-government people calling up the cops to come to their house. And when they get out of their car, they start opening fire from their porch. I mean, cops do get ambushed. And that's why all the...
What about those Tea Party people in Vegas? Remember 2 years ago?
Exactly, who wanted to gun
and
down
they
a bunch
put
of
the
cops.
"Don't Tread on Me" flag over, whatever.
Exactly,
Killed
yeah.
two police officers in the cafe.
In the cafe, boom, just shot him.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. And so, look,
But they were lone wolves.
Lone wolves,
Lone
yeah.
wolves.
Well,
they
that's
were
the
white.
problem. In America, we have 323 million plus people. There are going to be lone wolves saying they're inspired by anti-government propaganda or anti-abortion propaganda or ISIS or whatever. In this case, the cops responded appropriately. Thankfully, the cop was not actually killed. And so this looks like the best possible outcome out of this.